Boys, welcome back to another video. It's going to be a little bit of a different video today, because I'm going to be ranking every single movie in the MCU, including the new Deadpool X Wolverine. Let's get right into it. First up, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, and there's no way you could give this thing any less than an A tier. It is one of Marvel's better movies. It's funny, it's a great family movie, and it came out in 2014. It has Chris Pratt in it. What is there not to love about this movie, honestly? Avengers Age of Ultron. This was a more mid-tier movie, but I'm going to put it in B tier. I didn't dislike it. It was a pretty decent movie, but it just wasn't the original Avengers. Ant-Man, the first one, I'm gonna have to put it below Ultron. Um, it didn't really do too much for me. I mean, it was funny and it introduced a new character, so I'll actually put it above Age of Ultron there. Captain America Civil War. Ooh. This one is gonna have to go into A tier. I'm gonna put it above Guardians of the Galaxy, actually. I really enjoyed seeing the two sides fight in this one. This was one of my favorite movies. It also came out when I was just starting to getting into watching all of these movies, and so that is a special place in my heart. Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, C tier. Boring movie, well, not the worst on here though, and some crazy deaths in this movie. Some really dumb deaths in the movie. Like I don't, like the Black Bolt one. You all know what I'm talking about. Black Bolt dying is just so stupid. All right, next up we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This one straight up to A tier. This was a great movie, right below the original Guardians. Some people actually put it above the original Guardians. I don't personally. I found the original Guardians to be a much better movie, but this one is still a second strong movie to the trilogy of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, a lot of people aren't gonna like me for I put this, but I'm gonna put it below Ultron in B tier. Actually, I thought this movie was pretty boring. I know a lot of people really like this movie, but I found it extremely boring, especially in the theaters. Thor Ragnarok. Oh, first S tier movie. This was a hilarious comedy movie. Taika Waititi did a great job on this one. Fresh take on the Thor movies. It was originally really dark and serious, like the tone, and Taika Waititi just changed it up immensely. It is a really good movie. The first Black Panther, second S tier. It is an incredible movie as well. The visuals are stunning, the fight scenes are amazing, and the plot is it's a pretty decent plot. The plot is below the visual effects and fight scenes, but it's all so good that you have to put it in S tier. Avengers Infinity War, above Ragnarok, S tier. Just another great movie, an Avengers movie. They all come together to fight Thanos, and they end up losing, sadly. The first Iron Man, top of A tier. Started it all. It was a great movie. Not quite S tier there. Ant-Man and the Wasp, boring movie. You could say it was the beginning of the MCU's downfall, was Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I don't know. I think I'm the only person who's been saying that lately. Captain Marvel wasn't horrible. I'll put it above Spider-Man, right below Age of Ultron, because it wasn't actually that bad of a movie. Like, it was pretty entertaining. She was just kind of a Mary Sue. Endgame, oh, probably one of the best movies of all time. S tier easily. Tony Stark dies. Captain America's old, out of commission. It's so emotional. Such a great MCU movie. One of the most emotional movies in the MCU. Now, I believe this is Spider-Man: Far From Home. We're gonna put it the second MCU Spider-Man movie. This one is going to go into A tier, but I'm not sure where. I think right below Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy were thrown above that. Right below Guardians of the Galaxy. It is a pretty great movie. You know, they take a trip over to Europe. Spider-Man fights Quentin Beck. Pretty solid movie. Black Widow. A lot of people really don't like this one. I didn't mind it. It wasn't a bad movie, and it wasn't the best movie either. But it wasn't, really bad like the newer movies are. Shang-Chi, I really like this one. I really like this one. Below Guardians of the Galaxy, but I liked this movie, and I thought we were gonna get a sequel. I'm not sure where that's at. Spider-Man: No Way Home. I'm pretty sure. Guardians of the Galaxy above Shang-Chi. It's a pretty good movie, but it's mainly fan service. They just kind of brought in a bunch of cameos. It's still a good movie though, so I'm putting it in A tier, but it's mostly cameos and fan service. The Incredible Hulk. Now, this one is actually in the MCU. Some of these aren't, and I'm not going to rank the ones that are not in the MCU, but this is in the MCU, so I'm going to rank it below Spider-Man. Top of C tier. Not as bad as Doctor Strange, but definitely top of C tier. Not a bad movie by any means, like not the worst movie on here. Um, it's just again kind of boring. Iron Man, is this Iron Man 2? Iron Man 2. Now this is the one with the whiplash. We're going to put it in B tier. It's pretty alright. Kind of mid, but by no means is it bad. Thor, the first Thor movie was pretty good. I'm putting it above Spider-Man 2. Yeah, pretty good movie. Switching those two around. Just not much more to be said. It introduces us to Thor for the first time, and it was a pretty good movie, especially when it first came out. Captain America, the First Avenger. This is a great movie, right below the first Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a war movie, wartime movie. It shows us the uprising of Captain America and him getting frozen in ice. So that's always interesting. Avengers Assemble. Let's go. First Avengers movie. Above Iron Man, A tier. Top of A tier. Such a good movie. I'll put it above Thor actually in S tier. Such a great first Avengers movie. This is actually the first MCU movie that I saw, and it was just absolutely amazing when I first saw it. Iron Man 3. There's kind of just a lot going on. Not the worst movie on here, but just like way too many plots. Thor Dark World, first D tier. Really bad. Especially for like old MCU standards, really bad. So incredibly boring. I don't know how they managed to make a Thor movie that boring, but they did it. Probably one of the worst like earlier phase MCU movies that I've seen. Captain America, the Civil, or no, not Civil War, sorry. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. This was a great movie. I'm going to put it right below his first movie. Captain America, I think, is the strongest trilogy, other than Avengers. The strongest main character trilogy, just because there's no real weak movies in the Captain America trilogy. They're all pretty good. Now, Captain America Civil War is... I want to put it higher, but I'm not going to, just because it's not... I know it's not up there with the Iron Man one in Guardians of the Galaxy. Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, I saw this movie 2 days ago, and it wasn't all that it was hyped up to be. It really was just like a bunch of fan service and cameos, and they didn't write it as well as the other movies. It's still not like a horrible one, so we're gonna put it in like mid B, but it's not old Marvel, man. Garbage. It was horrible. Oh man. Wakanda Forever. I believe this is what this is. Not horrible. Above Captain Marvel, I'll say. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't really bad. It was just kind of meh without Chadwick Boseman. I miss him. Quantum Mania. Best part of this was Jonathan Majors, and his character was shown to be such like a non-threat that ants took him out, which is crazy. Like that shouldn't be happening for the big bad that you're setting up. And then Jonathan Majors is getting, I think, recasted, or they're just canceling those movies. Eternals, I didn't mind Eternals. I'm putting it above Black Widow. I kind of liked it. It wasn't too bad for me. I liked the characters. I liked all the superpowers. Not bad. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, maybe the second strongest uh, trilogy on here, right below Captain America. I'm going to put it above Captain America Civil War and below Shang-Chi. It was a great third movie. I was hoping that one of them would die for like emotional stakes. They didn't. It's still a good movie though. It makes you feel emotion, but if you're watching it like twice or three times, then it can lose that emotion just because you know it's gonna happen. Thor: Love and Thunder, the only other F tier movie in my opinion. Um, it was just so lackluster and boring, and it just didn't have it where it counted. I guess that's all I can say. But this is my tier list. If you guys disagreed, let me know. If you agreed, let me know. And I'll see you all.